If you want to know untold facts about Islam, keep watching our channel.
Assalamu alaikum. If you ask a Muslim why has Allah created us, you will rarely hear that Allah has created us for love. The reply that you'll generally hear is that Allah has created us for His worship. And it's not wrong, it's right. It comes in Surah 51 verse 56 that Allah says, "Indeed I have created the spirits, the jinn and mankind so that they may worship me." Now, generally when anybody asks, when young people, youth ask in our families, in our extended friend circle, that why has Allah created us? This is the reply that they generally get. That Allah has created you so that you should worship Him. Now, many of these people, they have this question. What need does Allah have so that we may worship Him? Why does Allah need our worship? If He is really, not dependent on anything, He does not need or want anything, why does He want us to worship? Why does He need our worship? And when somebody questions this, generally, people in our families, in our relations, they say, don't question, you'll get lost. You'll get misguided, don't question. But no, that question is valid. And if you treat them like this, they move away from Islam. They move away from Iman. So what is the answer? The question is valid. Why has Allah created us for worship? Quran answers. Why people are not able to answer it is because they have mistreated Quran. Mistreated not physically, but they have not tried to understand it. Quran is a book for understanding. We have done everything with the Quran, but try to understand it. The answer is there. Allah does not leave us hanging. So when the question is, why has Allah created us for worship? The answer comes in Surah Baqarah verse 21, chapter 2 verse 21. Allah says, "O people, worship your Lord so that you may become muttaqi." So we are being created for worship. And what happens with worship? We become muttaqi. We become those with taqwa. Taqwa means God conscious. So we become conscious of who Allah is, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. We can get conscious of things like Bismillah Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, that Allah is Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. We get conscious of that. For example. But now somebody might still say that why does Allah want us to be muttaqi? Okay, Allah created us for worship. And worship is there so that we may become muttaqi. The answer is still not complete. Why does Allah want us to be muttaqi? The answer comes in chapter 5 verse 2. Surah Al-Ma'idah, Surah number 5 verse number 2. Allah says, it's a long verse. I'm just quoting from the middle. The verse says, hatred should not dictate your actions. Become muttaqi. I'm just picking up from the longer ayat. Hatred should not dictate your actions. Become muttaqi. So what happens when being muttaqi is that hatred does not dictate our actions. What would dictate? If the hatred is not there, what is there? If darkness is not there, there is light. If hatred is not there, there is love. Allah is saying hatred should not dictate your actions. Become muttaqi. So by becoming muttaqi, we become people of love, not people of hatred. So if you just draw, if A equal to B and B equal to C, then A equal to C, it's a simple, math thing which even a 6th grade student knows today. That's the kind of system Allah is drawing in the Quran. Allah created us for worship. Worship got created so that we become muttaqi. What happens when we become muttaqi? We become those who are not governed by hatred. We become those who are governed by love. Because the God of love needs servants who are loving, who practice love. So Allah has created us not so that we might hate each other, but that we might, love each other, that we might practice that quality. And worship takes us to this place. Worship is like a car. You sit in the car and it takes you to a destination. This is the destination. Taqwa of Allah resulting in not being governed by hatred, but being governed by love. And why does Allah want that? Because He Himself is the source of love. He's Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. I hope it would be clear to you that why has Allah created us? Allah has really created us so that we might practice love.